welcome everybody to this wonderful session at Chinar Quantum AI. Actually, those of you who do not know about Chinar Quantum AI, basically it's a company that has envisioned a future based on AI, and what we do is we empower individuals and organizations with training, services, and consultation in artificial intelligence. Junaid, next slide, please. So basically, Chinar Quantum AI is a global company, but it has roots in Kashmir. So if a lot of you would have wondered that why Chinar, how these are related. So I thought I should explain it at the beginning why it is so, why it's Chinar, and what is the link between Chinar Quantum AI. So it's basically, Chinar is our Kashmir connection, and we are apart from AI, we are also striving for quantum ready future. So it's the future, and AI, that's the present as well as future. So with this name, we thought we would bring our Kashmiri connection and the resilience of the Chinars, the might of the Chinars, and the uh, few possibilities of the future together. So that's the name or the story behind this Chinar Quantum AI. Next.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And there is multiple things coming here together. The Murtaza really nicely explained why Chinar is there. So it represents the beauty of Kashmir. And then why are we here is because we want to know about artificial intelligence. We want to talk about artificial intelligence. How is it going to impact our careers? What new jobs are going to be there? And in general, the future of humanity. I think none of us would disagree that for the future of humanity, artificial intelligence is going to play a crucial role, and we already see it, right? In our daily lives, we see it in the products that we use, the services that we use, and the jobs that are being offered. And it's almost everywhere. So that's why that's the purpose of this company, to basically prepare the youth, especially the youth of Kashmir, about artificial intelligence. And maybe some of you are aware that in future we are going to have a different kind of computers, not the ones that we are talking on right now. For example, I'm talking via laptop, but it's going to be altogether a different, I would say, logic on which the computers work. And those computers are called quantum computers. And that's why we have the word quantum also in us, to emphasize on the fact that we are future ready, we are quantum ready. So first of all, we are going to be AI ready, which is trending right now. But at the same time, we are also getting ready for quantum computers, not only to be able to use them, but to understand how they really function and contribute on different levels, maybe on research, maybe on development. If you don't know, there are already quantum computers available in the world at different parts of the world. For example, I live in Germany, so here also they have a quantum computer. In US, they have quantum computers. All the big companies have quantum computers, like Google, like Facebook, like Amazon, IBM. They are in their initial stages, but very soon, I think it's going to materialize, and quantum computers in future could also be available commercially, so that everybody can use them as we use other computers. So that kind of explains the name of the Chinar Quantum AI. So it has the beauty of Kashmir, the resilience, as Murtaza was nicely explaining, and then it has the technology part in it. And yeah, Murtaza, you want to go ahead? I just came in to discuss.
Yes. So I will later introduce you to Junaid, actually, in a moment. But because he has expertise in this field, so I let him talk about it even before giving his introduction. So basically, as Junaid was explaining, and as all of that artificial intelligence, it's the technology of present era. It's not the future even. It's now present. It's dominating the job markets, the industry, academia, research, everything. So that we will we will delve deeper into that. But uh, so we thought at Chinar Quantum AI that there is a need to raise awareness at a mass level related to artificial intelligence. So we have started this online webinar series. So today is our first session of the series. On the there will be many more sessions coming, and they will be delivered by the AI experts from Kashmir, from other parts of India, from Europe even, and other places. So it will be a nice session as we go along, and we will try to walk you through all the things that you need, all the things related to artificial intelligence, and how how they are important. And we will also provide you some guide into, or walk you over different fields where artificial intelligence is being used. Basically it is being used everywhere, but we will tell you how it's used in different fields, and how you can leverage artificial intelligence to make good careers for you.
Exactly.
Next.
Yeah.
Next slide, Junaid. So now let me introduce our speakers. So today we have two wonderful guests. We have Chetan Verma. He's basically an assistant professor at St. Xavier's College in Ahmedabad. He has a lot of experience in teaching different AI related subjects like data science, data analytics, and much more. So thank you, Chetan, for joining us today. And the other guest, you already know him. He was just talking. He's Junaid Akhtar. Junaid is currently an AI researcher at Paderborn University in Germany, and he is also the chief technical officer of Chinar Quantum AI. So, welcome, Junaid and Chetan. Floor is all yours. Please go ahead with your presentations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Murtaza, for such a nice introduction. And first of all, I would like to welcome everyone who has joined today's live session. This is our first live session, and this is a series of basically webinars, and the purpose being that we want to first of all create awareness. So while on this part of the world, for example, in Germany, people have already not only started learning AI, but they have already integrated AI in their businesses. It's getting integrated in universities, in schools, basically everywhere, right? If you look on our part of the world, we don't even know what AI is, and forget about integrating it with our education system. For example, I think our education system is still very conventional. It's that classic education system which doesn't offer students any information, or forget about guidance, how to learn AI and how to become, for example, an AI specialist. So my journey to AI has been a bit unconventional. So I actually did not learn AI from my bachelor or so. I have done my bachelor in physics, theoretical physics, and also my master's in physics with a focus on computation, with quantum computing and artificial intelligence. And so I entered AI through physics. So this is for all those students who are doing maybe conventional studies. They are doing physics or mathematics, or for that matter any field. So there is always a door through which you can enter AI. And in fact, I would go to an extent to say that all sciences have become data sciences. It's just different applications of this data science. For example, physics, chemistry, biology. If you look at them in a bird's eye view, you will figure out they are all about data. That you will be using techniques which are very well known in data science. And then, as Murtaza was explaining, we have Chetan also here, Chetan Verma. I met him in Aligarh Muslim University. I was doing my bachelor there, and we started discussing about various topics in physics and mathematics. He has also been my teacher actually there, and it's very nice and very good feeling to connect back, to connect people at home and talk about these topics so that we can at least create some vocabulary in our culture, so that I came to know via some young students that they do want to learn AI. We did a couple of sessions in some schools in Kashmir, I would say a year ago. We also ran a Python programming in 2022, where we were teaching Python programming to different people. And the response was overwhelming. So it's not like students are not interested. It's not like everybody wants to become a doctor and engineer. It's just that they have no one to tell them what else to do. And that's why we are here. That's the purpose of this webinar series, that we are going to interact with you guys. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we would like to discuss. So don't think of it as a lecture, think of it as an interaction, okay? So we do have some presentation ready, some slides ready, but we will only present them if they are relevant. We would like to hear from you. What do you think of AI and how do you think it's gonna change, let's say, the world? How do you think it's gonna impact jobs? How are you preparing yourself for AI? Are you actually preparing yourself for AI for the future? Or do you have a mentor who is helping you in, learning about AI and all these things? So that's what this session is about. And let's get started. So I will have a quick look uh, in the chat if there are any questions already. No, I think, yeah, Chetan is now unmuted. So maybe I give stage to Chetan to say a few words about himself.
Hi, let me know if I am audible. There were some
Yes,
technical
you are.
error.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Junaid, and thank you, Murtaza, for inviting me for this webinar. So, Murtaza already introduced us, so I will not do much more about it. I just wanted to let you know that like how I actually came to know about this, especially CQI. And so, as Junaid also mentioned that it started in when I was in yeah, Aligarh Muslim University. It started with the preparing for some exam, and we were together doing some problem in quantum mechanics. And this is actually where it started. Our collaboration started. And then when Junaid moved to Germany, and you know what, we were basically more inclined towards the more theoretical physics, which is very much abstract, which uses a very abstract mathematics. And then we thought that this is not actually working for us. This is not working for many people. So why not try something which is we can connect to many people. We can produce some products, right? So we thought why not to try this data science, and then of course that lead to working for AI actually. So me and Junaid, basically we are physics students, but we are actually started applying artificial intelligence to our research work, and that actually lead to this is company which is now actually producing AI products as well. Okay, yeah. So this is about me, and of course, if you have any comments regarding if you have any query regarding what is AI, then please do comment, and we will be happy to answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks for taking us back, Chetan, to old days. And I would like to add here, because I have now, I have done a bit of a physics and also now doing AI. There are very interesting connections of AI. At times, I didn't feel like I am doing AI. I felt I'm still doing, physics, because AI is fundamentally, it has some, you need a little bit of a mathematical background, and that we already have. We are lucky as physicists. And this might sound surprising to people, that I am, for example, right now solving physics problems, but using artificial intelligence. So there are various ways you can solve physics problems, right? So for example, in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, most of the problems that you get in your books, right, in 9th syllabus or 10th, in 11th, for example, you have mechanics and all that. You have these waves, right? Simple harmonic oscillator and all that. So all these problems that you have in your physics class or even math class, or let's say physical chemistry, you solve them on pen and paper, right? That's also how you write your exam. You go to an examination hall and they give you few sheets of paper and a question paper, then you have to solve it in some time. That's also how entrance exam goes, right? But what if I tell you that all these problems are bookish problems? The real world is not made out of these problems. The real world has an extra layer of complication. Okay, take as a simple example of, I would say from 11th, let's talk about pendulum, simple pendulum, right? Or a projectile motion. When you throw a stone and then you have to calculate where will it fall, right? You have a certain, let's say, force in some direction. So it has two components of velocities, y component and x component. Then using the Newton's laws of motion, you can calculate how far it will go, right? Or how high it will go, or the force with which it will impact the ground. However, if you look at the real life scenarios, this is not what happens. There is air resistance. There is pressure difference when you go at different heights. So it becomes a complicated problem. And then you have to solve these problems on a computer. So even if, forget about AI, even if you simply want to become a better engineer, okay, a better researcher, a good professor, you will have to interact with computers at some point, because all these problems that exist in the real world, they are a bit complicated than bookish problems. And then you have to use computers to solve those problems. So you have to use something called algorithms to solve those problems. So there is an algorithmic thinking. That's what these sessions are about. We have to think in terms of algorithms. And you can use those algorithms to solve these real life problems. For example, I would like to, related to this projectile motion is, how does an airplane fly, right? So it's essentially a physics problem and engineering problem. You have to solve a few equations in terms of how you make a successful airplane. For example, so the air you can treat as a fluid, right? So, and then there are some equations. Or like you have equations of motion in 11th and 12th class. Similar, I think in 12th, there is a chapter where you have fluids, right? And you use those equations to figure out at what speed should an airplane move ahead. So how should its engine, how powerful should its engines be so that it can actually fly and go to a particular destiny. And keep in mind that this thing has to be extremely precise, because here we have lives at stake, right? So all these calculations are done on a computer rather than on a pen and paper. Similarly, if you want to become a doctor, right? And there you are interacting with physics anyway, right? So you have to take x-rays of people, and x-ray, it is basically coming from physics, right? And you need to be able to read it. What does it say? So there are a lot of things which already happen in our daily life, which involve a lot of computational power. May not it be artificial intelligence. We'll also talk about how we are already using artificial intelligence. We are already consumers of artificial intelligence. It's just that it's a bit unfortunate कि हमें ये नहीं पता है कि इसमें करियर कैसे बनाना है, हमें ये नहीं पता है कि इसको ये काम कैसे करता है. So this is a bit unfortunate. However, we are using it already. Let me check the chat quickly if there are any questions so far. No? Okay. Then maybe we keep going, and maybe along the way we will have some questions. So I want to take you to the next slide, which is the question many people in this session right now might be thinking. Okay, yeah, we are talking about AI. We are talking about its impact. I give many examples, but what the heck is AI? So let's ask this question, what is artificial intelligence? I think there is a bit of a lag in presenting slides. Can anybody confirm which slide are you looking at right now? No? Chetan, can you confirm maybe?
Junaid, it's the same slide that you are presenting.
Okay, perfect. Nice. So
There's a
can I
small lag, but I think that's very, that happens at times.
Okay, perfect. No, not an issue. So I want to ask you the question, what is artificial intelligence? And I would like to hear from the audience. Maybe in chat you can type, what is artificial intelligence? What is your understanding of artificial intelligence? I don't want you to Google it. I want you to answer what you have understood so far. Okay, while I wait for this, your answers, I would like to give you a spoiler. So this is what artificial intelligence is. I mean, it's obvious from the name itself. It's artificial and it's intelligence. So there were a group of people who were asking these questions. So many of you might have the impression that artificial intelligence is something new, that it came yesterday, or maybe you start hearing about Chat GPT or Google Gemini or all these different big companies, Facebook, that they started this artificial intelligence. But that's not actually true. Artificial intelligence is a very old field, okay, and its roots lie in computer science and mathematics. And there were some people who were asking these tough questions, that is it possible that we can create machines which can think like humans, or at least can replicate human intelligence to some extent? So this is a very foundational questions that humans have asked, especially in the later, I would say, 100 years, in the 19th, in the 20th century. People have been asking this question: is it possible that we can replicate human intelligence? Now, I want to maybe take you back to this smart guy. His name is Alan Turing. Okay, maybe some of you have watched a movie called The Imitation Game. Is it that one from Alan Turing? There's a movie from him where he basically, so he's the guy actually who played a role in stopping World War II. Okay, and he was very smart, and he was a computer scientist and a mathematician, and he started asking these questions: can we create a machine? Okay, there's also literature from him, research from him, about, for example, something called a Turing machine. So we'll not go into details. We will discuss in different parts of this web series when we go into details. But he did write a research paper titled about titled like Computing Machinery and Intelligence. So he was already talking about artificial intelligence in 1950s. So for all of you who are thinking that it's something new, it came yesterday, that's not the case. It's quite old, and people have been thinking about it already. Here is the guy who actually coined the term artificial intelligence. And as you can see, it was a few years after Alan Turing published his research, that this guy came up and he coined the term. So the term that we use right now, artificial intelligence, that was given by this guy. And you can see already it's also not very recent. Yeah, I mean, he lived until 2011, but I think the term he coined was in 1954 or something. So I just wanted to dismantle this this idea a little bit, that artificial intelligence is something which came up yesterday, or it was brought in by Google or Facebook. No, it's a really old field. What happened is that now we have more computational power, we have good laptops, so we can do artificial intelligence in at home. Okay, we do have some answers. Interesting. Let's see. Um, Yeah, Ahmed has a really nice answer. He's saying, for example, humans, if you have to differentiate between cat and a dog, it's very easy for us because, we are very smart beings and we learn it from childhood. People tell us how to differentiate between cat and a dog, and then we encode it in our mind, right? This is also some form of one. There is also one form of intelligence which copies exactly the behavior learning that we have. For example, if I'm a kid, I touch something really hot, next time I will not touch it because it hurt me. So this is something called reinforcement learning. We'll also dive into this kind of artificial intelligence in one of our webinars. But yeah, Ahmed, you are right. So we are very good at differentiating between cats and dogs. But if we can train a machine and make it differentiate between cat and a dog, it means that we have made the machine smart. There is some intelligence in the machine. And you might have seen it already. Is there an example which you use in your daily life which has this recognition system in it, facial recognition system, so to say, right? For example, Facebook. When you tag someone on a Facebook, next time the Facebook automatically comes to know who is this person that you put in the picture, right? How is Facebook? It's not like Mark Zuckerberg is waiting there and he's keeping track of all your friends and then attaching names to him. No, he has a system in place, an artificial intelligence system which can recognize people's faces. Okay. And similarly, your Google Photos, sometimes it is able to put people's photos in different folders because it's able to recognize people's faces, right? So this is already some sort of intelligence which we are using. So I was telling you some minutes before that artificial intelligence is already in our lives. We're already consumers of artificial intelligence. We just don't know how it works. And here is like, a bit of a journey of artificial intelligence. Where we are today, all the way when Alan Turing started it. Okay. It's always important and nice to put things in perspective. I know that we have a lot of students, let's say from 11th or 12th, 9th, 10th. Many times, even when I was, in those stages, we are mostly focused on solving, let's say, numericals, right? Or passing this exam, getting these many marks because हमें अपने neighbors को दिखाना है कि right, मेरे पास इतने marks हैं, relatives पूछेंगे कि कितना number है, right? So all these things we all go through and we miss the fun part. हम लोग जो साइंस का असल मकसद है, fun part वो miss out कर देते हैं, right? And so many people are focused on just this one line of thought कि या तो डॉक्टर बनना है या इस तरह का इंजीनियर बनना है, ये और कोई चीज कोई एक्सप्लोर ही नहीं कर रहा है. And for these reasons we are paying a price. We are paying a price कि हमारी जो youth है, they are not aware of what other career opportunities are available. और कौन से करियर हैं दुनिया में जो डॉक्टर और इंजीनियर के अलावा हैं जो मैं कर सकता हूं, and maybe they are even more exciting than being a doctor or an engineer in the traditional sense, right? So it's very good to have doctors, right? हमें डॉक्टर चाहिए, हमें अच्छे डॉक्टर चाहिए. बट लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग, एज आई विल हैव इट इन वन ऑफ आवर स्लाइड्स, कि जो डॉक्टर भी है, इफ नए डॉक्टर अगर वो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को इंटीग्रेट नहीं करते हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू लूज देयर जॉब्स फॉर श्योर. बिकॉज आई वॉज जस्ट गिविंग यू एन एग्जाम्पल कि अगर आप फेसबुक को देखें, दे हैव अ फेशियल रिकग्निशन सिस्टम, राइट? Or maybe your phone, right? If you are using an iPhone, or I think every phone has it right now, it has this there's a camera on the top, selfie camera, and when I open my phone I just have to swipe. Fingerprint की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. So how is it able to do? It understands the features of my face, right? Similarly, it is possible to understand features of a test report. जो आपने for example MRI कराया है, आपने X-ray किया है, it is possible to give it to a machine. एक डॉक्टर जो है, आप मान लीजिए कि रेडियोलॉजिस्ट की जरूरत नहीं पड़ सकती है फ्यूचर में. जैसे रेडियोलॉजिस्ट क्या होता है, उसको आप जाके दिखाते हैं कि भाई साहब ये है मेरा MRT स्कैन, ये है मेरा X-ray, please read it, right? Or you have reports. So in future you will just put this radiology वाला जो भी आपके पास picture है, चाहे X-ray है, चाहे MRI है, you will give it to a machine, and that machine will be very, very precise about diagnosis. वेरी प्रिसाइज अबाउट डायग्नोसिस. सो वो सारे डॉक्टर जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इंटीग्रेट नहीं करेंगे, ऑफ कोर्स दे आर आल्सो गोइंग टू लूज देयर जॉब्स. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में आए एंड देन यू हैव टू ओनली बिकम ए एआई एक्सपर्ट. यू कैन लेवरेज फ्रॉम एआई, और जो आपके करंट रोल्स हैं उनमें आप इसको इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो. सो coming back to the history, यहाँ पे we are talking about early AI, which is from 1950s to 70s. This is when I would say Alan Turing started it. Maybe then couple of more people started taking him seriously कि हाँ भाई ये ऐसा कुछ कह रहा है कि हम ऐसी artificial intelligence machine बना सकते हैं. I mean, imagine being back in the days and then you are telling people that you can create a machine which is intelligent. People wouldn't believe it, right? आप 100 साल पहले जाओ और लोगों को कहो कि ऐसे फोन बनने वाले हैं जैसे हम यूज कर रहे हैं आजकल, राइट? सो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल टू थिंक कि वो लोग बिलीव करेंगे. And then we went through 80s. We had something called expert systems. Let's not go into detail. जो हम current era में रह रहे हैं, you can say that it has started developing mostly in 1990s. After 1990s comes something called machine learning. Machine learning, what happens in machine learning? So again, it's making a system intelligent, but while learning from data. So maybe you आपने सुना होगा ये सारी बड़ी terms, right? Data science, big data, companies आपका data collect कर रही हैं. Facebook पे किसी ने sue किया था कि they are collecting data from people. Have you ever thought why did Facebook, run such a big platform for free? People are like, when you used to log into Facebook long time ago, it says, I think maybe it still says it, it's for free and it's always gonna be free. And people are like, oh, maybe Mark Zuckerberg, he's such a nice guy. He created stuff for free to communicate, for people to make friends, stuff like that. People from one corner of the world can connect to another corner. Of course, he created something amazing, right? But it's not for free. There is a very famous saying that data is the new oil. So earlier it used to be oil, for example, in Middle East. Some of the countries in the Middle East who are very rich, they are rich because they have a lot of oil, and people are saying data is the new oil because data जो है वो available है, and you can, Mark Zuckerberg, while you were using Facebook, chatting with your friends, he was collecting your data, and then from that data he would make decisions, right? He could sell those data to other companies, because what this data is about, it's about you, and you can create a machine, or there are algorithms which you can put into place जहां से पता चलेगा कि ये इंसान कैसे सोचता है, right? Another example is YouTube, for example. YouTube पे मान लो आप you are watching some videos and then आपको recommendation मिलता है, right? If you like, I don't know,
Junaid,
yeah.
we have people joining from Kerala, so it's better to use English only because they might not be able to understand Hindi.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that, Murtaza. Yeah, let's go back to English. So what I was saying is that on the one hand, while we might see that this Facebook was offering us services for free, on the other hand, they were taking data from us, and with that data, what were they doing? They were learning our behavior, right? So you see on Facebook, when you click on something, you watch a reel, or on Instagram, right? It's also owned by Facebook now, Meta, so to say. And when you watch some reels, 2 or 3 reels, then it gives you recommendation about more reels, similar reels. So if you think how it's working, it's because of this intelligent design. It's because of artificial intelligence, because the system has understood your thinking patterns. The system has understood what Junaid likes, what kind of reels do I like, and then it's feeding me similar kind of reels. So the takeaway is that we are living in the age of data. Data has become very important in personal lives. You see, there are a lot of data protection laws coming into play, and also in business, right? Not only that, also in in research, it was already actually important, right? Also in academia, it's very important. So it's all about data. We are living in the age of data, and that's why we need to learn how to use this data, how to um, how to understand the patterns behind data, and that is what we call machine learning. Okay, we'll also have maybe a different slide where we show some Venn diagram, what is AI and what is machine learning. But here we are just going a bit into history. And then from 2010 onwards, it's the era of deep learning and big data. What is deep learning? It's where you use deep neural networks. If you have been using chat gpt, for example, you will see people saying, oh, do you know it has a trillion parameters, right? Or these many billions of parameters. So these are what they are talking about is कि how big are these architectures. ये जो models बने हैं, artificial intelligence जो बना हुआ है, how big are they? Okay, and that's where we go into deep learning, and this is the era of deep learning. चाहे आपका phone है, उसमें you will have AI. चाहे आपका laptop, whatever you are using, everything has in one way or other way deep learning in it. Yeah, and here is um, a diagram to explain what is AI and what is machine learning and what is deep learning. You see that the bigger circle is artificial intelligence. So it's about mimicking human brain, right? Or creating intelligence in machines which replicate humans. So that's in crude words, I would say this is what artificial intelligence is. And then under this artificial intelligence, there are different ways to create intelligent machines, actually. Some of them are logic-based, some of them are data-based, data-driven. And the data-driven paradigm, we call it machine learning. And within machine learning, you will have deep learning, okay? You don't need to worry about, how actually they function and all that we will come to in upcoming sessions. So that's our job. This is here just to give you a perspective. Maybe you have heard about these buzzwords, but nobody explained to you what is the difference. Sometimes you hear AI, sometimes you hear machine learning, sometimes you hear deep learning, sometimes you hear something else. So that's why we just wanted to give you kind of a bird's eye view what these different terms mean.
Yeah, so Junaid, we have questions, so maybe we take some questions along and then see if how we move about these questions, and if because it may be late afterwards to answer all the questions because there are quite few questions. So the question is, most students, Chetan, I think maybe you can answer this one. Most students nowadays are confused about which subject to choose after 12th grade. Should they pursue graduation or prepare for NEET? Graduation here is a bit long process, and there is no proper combination of subjects. And also, they have confusion between what subject to choose. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so that's a very common question, uh, like now we all have. So they're asking that I think he wants to ask that what is the purpose of doing graduation? Because it's very long process. Now we have 4 year graduation program in India, and what should we do? So what I would say that it's important first, at least you should be enrolled in graduation program, any graduation program, right? You should be enrolled because the career wise, it is important to have a degree, okay? Because what you'll be looking uh, uh, for to crack any company interview. So it's very important to you have at least graduation degree. Okay. Now, what is more important during graduation that you work on your skills, right? You choose any stream, but it's very important if even if you are doing a technical you're having a technical degree, sub-degree course, for example, BTech or maybe BCA or maybe BSc Computer Science, it is always important to work on your skill and to align yourself towards what is the requirement in, as Junaid also explained, that if you, even if you are doing MBBS or some course in radiology, then you have to align yourself accordingly. What is the demand, how AI is helping, it can help you in your subject. Yeah. So short answer is yes, you should do graduation program, but at the same time, sharpen your skill, align yourself with AI. Yeah.
So the other part of the question is because in India, not in many colleges there are these AI related, majors. So they are asking what is the
Yeah.
right subject combination to choose because because there are no tailored programs as we say. So what's your advice on that? What subject combination should they choose?
Yeah. So again, so let's say if you are a student of science, then it's very easy for you. Like you have science background, even if you are in chemistry or maths or physics background, then it is very easy for you to choose any side course which offer you AI. So, for example, so they are, yeah. So now in Indian universities, especially center and state university, they are not offering anything major in AI, but there are some top institute like IITs and ISC, they are offering right now. But even if you do not have that in your university in state university, then you should opt for some online training. For example, we offer the online training. Then you can of course enroll into it, and then we can actually what the online training can do. You can customize actually uh, uh, what your what degree you are having, the degree course you are having. You can always customize to according to your needs. For example, if you're a medical science student, then also you can align yourself accordingly. So, I mean, there are various ways. I mean, there are various streams which are there. And so the side course, I mean, the online course can always help you in that, right? Even if your institute or your university is not offering any AI course.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to add here just I personally I didn't have any AI training in university. Chetan didn't have any AI training in university, but we are still working in AI. And for us, it took a longer time to, reach, learn AI by ourselves. But that's exactly what this is the pain point we are answering in Chinar Quantum AI, right? Our universities, let me be a bit, I don't know, blunt about it. Our universities and colleges, even IITs, I have looked at curriculum of IIT, they are outdated. They are not going to prepare you for any cutting edge AI job. They are not going to prepare you in a way so that you can use AI for your research. What you have to do, as Chetan was nicely explaining, is you get enrolled in any whatever college it is, whatever university. I don't care if it's an IIT or if it's a local, local college, whatever. The thing you have to keep in mind is that AI is a technology which is disruptive. It changes overnight. Like go like 1.5 year ago when there was no chat GPT, the whole world was different, right? That the world has been now divided into pre-GPT and post-chat GPT era. The way companies hire now has become different. The way you do research now has become different. Earlier, I had to spend a lot of time to write code. I had to Google a lot if I had an error. But now I have ChatGPT on my side. It's like a personal assistant. So whenever I have an issue, I talk to ChatGPT and it solves my problem. So, but the university never told me to do this. The university never delivered a course how to use ChatGPT. So the technology is moving very fast, and this is exactly why we need to gear up and get ourselves ready. So I would say, irrespective of the field, first of all, I just want to revisit this question. I think this is one of very important questions, which is, should you choose NEET or should you choose a graduation? I know graduation is a little bit looked down upon in our culture, right? But consider NEET, for example. In Jammu and Kashmir, we have, I don't know if it's data of just Kashmir or Jammu and Kashmir, but for the sake of argument, we have 25,000 students who appear in NEET. 25,000 students every year. Out of those, there are 1,100 seats. Okay. Out of 1,100 seats, there are around 360, let's say 400, which are available in general category. And then there are different reservations, which people get based on based on the category they belong to. So all in all, around 1,000 seats are available every year. So this thing amazes me. This thing surprises me. Why are our students who are doing science, who are learning physics, math, chemistry, biology in their 11th and 12th, why don't they ask the simple question, hey, they are only going to take 1,000 students. So what about other options in the world? What happens to 24,000 students who don't qualify this exam? And you might not be able to qualify this exam because of 1 point, because of half a point, right? Because of 2 points. Maybe you are slow in a competitive exam. Maybe you are good in sitting back on the chair and thinking about ideas and then implementing on a computer. Because competitive exam, it's not just about intelligence. It's about how you can memorize stuff, how fast you are in the exam itself, and maybe you are just bad at filling those circles, right? I was pretty bad at it. Maybe you get confused when you look at those circles. So there is a lot of stuff apart from NEET that you can do in your lives. Okay. And those are, for example, I was showing you a slide. So in this slide, for example, I have AI in medicine. Even in medicine, let's say you become a doctor, AI is gonna enter diagnosis and assistance. So as I was talking about radiology, for example, predictive analytics. So personalized treatment, for example, this is like you get personalized content, you will have personalized treatment, medical imaging, and drug discovery. It's one of the fields where AI is being extensively used. Now, in the age of AI, there are, for example, these are few jobs which exist out there. You can become an AI engineer, you can become a robotic engineer, data scientist, data analyst, prompt. There are so many roles out there which exist apart from NEET, and the success rate is much better than NEET. I was mentioning that we have 1,000 students who get selected. Then what about the rest of the 24,000? But this is not the end of the story. What happens is people reappear in these exams. So then you also have to there's competition within students who didn't qualify last year but want to qualify this year, or people who have been writing these exams since 2 or 3 years, right? And then there are new people coming from who passed the 12th exam. So strategically, I would say it's not that rewarding. Of course, for those who just want to become doctors, please, don't take it otherwise. You have to really, qualify these exams. I think apart from NEET, maybe there are also other, ways you can become a doctor. I think people go abroad. For example, in Germany here, you can also become a doctor. You will need to language, etc. But the education is free. So if you want to apply for Germany, you can contact me. I can give you some information. What I want to tell you is, the message I want to give you is, there is so much to do out there apart from just sticking with NEET. And I also didn't, go through this rabbit hole of writing these exams again and again. I rather choose to do graduation. So I have done bachelor's in physics. And then I discovered that there is so much to do in the world. Imagine if I had become a doctor in Kashmir, I would have never traveled to Germany. I would have never traveled to Europe, because what I would have done is I would have become, trained to become a doctor, and that's it. I would have never been a co-founder of a company, right? So these are the things which are out there in the world. You just need to explore more, have right mentorship, and develop skills. This is the world of skills we live in. Irrespective of your degree, you have to have skills. And when you appear in an interview, people will ask questions about your skills, more about your skills, less about where did you come from, कि आपने degree कहाँ से की. Yeah, just
Okay,
want to
so
add the question.
yeah, so the next question is from Sabah. She's asking, what advice would you offer to individuals who are interested in pursuing a career in AI or transitioning into roles that involve AI related responsibilities?
Yeah, the first step would be Sabah. That's also a nice question because I think these questions come to everybody's mind. How to become an AI guy or how to become an AI expert. And there is a lot of misinformation on internet. There are a lot of fake gurus on internet who will come to you and try to make you a AI specialist. There are very expensive courses or stuff like this on internet. So I would like you to avoid all those things. So what you need to do in AI, there are few components of how to learn AI. First of all, you have to be passionate. If you are passionate enough, I guarantee you can learn AI. There is nothing, as I was going through the history of AI, it's not anything new. It just presented as something very new. There are some, things that have happened recently, some changes which happened recently, which are new, but the field itself is quite old. So what you need to do is you need to learn, let's say, Python programming, which we are offering, for example, at Chinar Quantum AI. But for that matter, you can learn it from anywhere else, maybe from your friend. But you have to keep in mind that with Python programming, you can do a lot of stuff. You cannot just learn AI. It's used for a lot of things. So you need to learn it in a way so that it's focused towards becoming a data scientist or AI. Second thing is you need some sort of math background, right? So either you already have it. Let's say you need to know, for example, what is a matrix? How does matrix multiplication happen? What is a vector, for example? Who of you would have ever thought that vectors? So I'm sure most of you have learned about vectors in 11th or 12th grade, right? And who of you would accept this or would have thought that ChatGPT, the way it uses vectors, the same vectors that you learned in your 11th, 12th, or 9th and 10th. So nobody tells us these things, and that's why we think that AI is completely new. So apart from having a programming background, you have to learn programming. There has to be, I would say, you have to look all these math or physics concepts that which you have already learned from a different perspective. So with the right mentorship, you will be able to become an AI engineer or achieve your dream job or dream role, I think, in a few months. So at CQA, for example, we have 4 or 5 months trainings, and after those trainings, people are able to even work on not only academic projects, but so they are able to work on client projects and solve business problems. So that would be my answer to your question.
Okay, next question. We have actually two questions that are very related. So I'll maybe you can take both of them at once. One is from Munib. Munib is asking, um, what are applications of AI in literature and philosophy, if there are any? So he's basically seeking a connection of AI with humanities. And then we have Ifra Shabir. She's asking that she's a non-computer science student and has done graduation in English literature. And now he wants to, make a transition to some AI related field. So, any recommendations for her that you would like to give? Chetan, maybe you can start.
Yeah, sure. So, so she asked that she does not have any computer science background and maybe is graduating in English. So as we mentioned that, irrespective of your stream, that you can all you even if you do not have any computer science background, but you can always learn a programming language, right? So, for example, Python is the most favorable for that, and it is as easy as English, right? So the syntax of Python is as easy as English. So you are already graduating in English, then you will find out that it's more like English. Is that easy it is. Okay. So that would be the starting point, that you learn a programming language, Python, and then you will automatically you will find ways to be in the field of AI and data science, right? So yeah, even if you have English background, no need to worry. That you can always learn, right? Uh, Yeah. So regarding literature, of course, uh, so we have uh, machine learning tool, which is called natural NLP, natural learning programming, right? Which is actually literature based, right? So you see now many GPT program, for example, Chat GPT or Microsoft Copilot, right? So, and now we have for the research specific AI tool, for example, Jenny.ai something, and then that is based on literature, right? So you can write your essays if you want, right? So, for example, you want to write a poem or an essay regarding any, William Shakespeare, the story of William Shakespeare, right? That AI also can produce, right? So, yeah, so that always you can learn. Um, that will always be useful in your area as well. Yeah. So that would be the answer. A short answer is, of course, you can learn even you do not have any computer science background, English literature doesn't matter. Yeah.
Thank you, Chetan, for this answer. Basically, if somebody wants to, get a flavor of how it's connected to literature, so I think the way I got a flavor was you just go to Chat GPT and ask it to write a poem, for example, as if Wordsworth is, for example, William Wordsworth is writing it on any theme that you like, and then you begin to, you compare some writing or some poem from Wordsworth with this poem, and you will see similarities, and the thing is it's getting better with each passing day. So there you would get a feel about it, and as Chetan said, and NLP, the natural language processing, that's the basically the tool, or the technical stuff behind it. So it's both relevant uh, when you take its application part, and also in its back end also. So thank you, Chetan, for the answer. Now we have one question from Sagarika Saha. She's asking, it will be great if you can speak about AI in healthcare space, specifically nanotechnology.
Well, I mean, we should I take this one?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So we have already a slide here, AI in medicine. So we didn't call it AI in healthcare. And as I was also speaking in the beginning, there is a lot of things. There are a lot of things in medicine or healthcare which are completely not only assistable by AI, but they're replaceable by AI. Even surgeries. Like these days, people are really there is a lot of research. For example, one of my very close friends who will also come in one of the sessions. I think it will be on 30, right, Murtaza?
Yes, we will see. We'll
Yeah,
announce it.
it's on 13th May. We will have a dedicated session by an expert who is a researcher in Munich, and he's working on artificial intelligence and medicine. Specifically, he's working on how to detect cancer using artificial intelligence. Okay, and as I was saying, some things are completely replaceable by AI, and in other things, there will be assistance coming from artificial intelligence. Now, you mentioned specifically nanotechnology. Whatever form of the technology we have, it will it will be assisted by artificial intelligence. Okay, especially generative AI, which is all kind of the AI that ChatGPT is built on, and so short answer is there will be a lot of things in upcoming, not so far. It's just that medicine, it takes a bit of a time to get approvals for medicine because it's related to the lives of people. It's a bit of a critical issue. So the governments are a little bit slow when it comes to medicine in accepting whatever new technology you bring in, not just artificial intelligence. But it has already reached to a stage that it's going to play a huge role. Can you believe that in Kashmir already there is a hospital in place which they claim to be, it's called an artificial intelligence based hospital because they use some sort of AI in their hospital. I don't know what exactly, but they're using. So it's already entered medicine. And even at Chinar Quantum AI, we have built a product which is not public yet, which is related to healthcare. I think in maybe a few weeks, we will also disclose what we have built. So all in all, not just nanotechnology, the AI is gonna be everywhere. And just want to add to the previous question about about the language. You know, I think it was Ifra who is doing literature, who has done literature and wants to know if she can learn programming. So if you don't know already, it's called a programming language. So it's a language. It's a language how you talk to a computer, right? And as Chetan was nicely putting it, Python is a very simple language, and it's a way to talk to the computer. It has a syntax, like you have grammar, you have syntax in programming language. So in my opinion, whoever is good at learning languages should be good at programming also, because language is essentially, if you break it down, it's logic, right? When you have to use this kind of grammar, what are the rules there? Similarly, you have rules in a programming language. And our intersection between people who study human languages and people who study machine language is something which, again, Chetan mentioned, called natural language processing, right? So basically what ChatGPT does is it creates this interface between humans and machines. So I don't have to now use a programming language. Maybe I just have to write in English, hey ChatGPT, I want this to be done, and it does it for me. Maybe 5 years ago or 2 years ago, I would have to write some instruction, you know, in terms of codes or stuff, but now I just have to talk to it like a human. So actually, no, it has never been the case that machines and humans have come so close. And I think it's the perfect time for anybody who is doing literature or language to also go into AI, or at least learn how to use it. You know, this is the least.
Thank you, Junaid, for the answer. Now we have next question is from Tufail. He is asking that how much time would it take for someone who is new to AI to land a job in AI? Basically, how the uh, duration of the training, etc. I guess is this is
Yeah,
what
I
he is
mean, for
asking.
this, I would like maybe one of our candidates who is Ahmed. I don't know if he is still here. He was here before. I would him to frame a reply for this. I will answer this question, but it would be nice also if he writes here. So I would say if you are dedicated and if you are really motivated to learn AI, which I think you should, and I believe at least one thing in your life you should do for 6 months and put your, blood and sweat in it. I know most of us are confused many times. Hey, should I do engineering? Oh, maybe I will do engineering. And then we also have this backup plan in mind that I will also open a cafe. And then when we end up doing our graduation, whether as an engineer or a non-engineer, and then we are thinking, oh, maybe now I will also start preparing for civil services. Like, believe me, I don't know who, I don't want to take the name, but I was contacted by someone a few weeks ago who is an MTech and has very good prospects, like he can do very good in AI if he starts preparing, but he's so confused that at the same time he's preparing for civil services. Okay, so the the point I want to make is do something for 6 months, 7 months, and put everything in it. Don't look at 10 different things. Put everything in it. If you do that, I can say that you can learn programming plus all the math concepts which you need together with doing a project. I think 5, 6, 7 months, depending on how much time you put in, should be enough. And this is not something I am saying on my own. This is what we have observed at Chinar Quantum AI. There are people who came to us. They started doing programming seriously. They put all the effort, and they are doing jobs. Some are working with us. Some are working at some other places. I think few of them should be in this meeting also. Yeah.
Thank you, Junaid, for the answer. Next question, it's a bit technical. So Muhammad Irfan is asking, he's asking basically the relation between quantum and AI. Basically, can we talk about the quantum part of AI? I mean, how quantum mechanics finds its place and significance in AI. I'm sure you can speak a lot about it, given your area of expertise. But as we are running short of time, so some quick answers to this one.
Okay, so I will give very quick answer. So first of all, you can solve quantum systems using artificial intelligence, which is also what I have done in my master thesis project. So you can understand a quantum system using artificial intelligence. So that's one way of looking at it. And then we are already in an era, as we were talking in the beginning, where quantum computers are coming into play. And there is something already in place, which, for example, Dr. Ruksan, who is one of the co-founders of Chinar Quantum AI, is an expert on. It's called quantum machine learning. So machine learning algorithms, which don't use classical logic, but use quantum logic. So we don't use classical gates like you have NOT gate, AND gate, etc., etc. Similarly, we have quantum AND gate, quantum NOT gate, and stuff like that. And this is a very promising field because we are expecting that quantum computers will be much faster, much stronger than classical computers. And we would like to do all artificial intelligence on a quantum computer, given that it's efficient, because what efficiency means is that we will be able to save a lot of energy, which is good for the planet, and we'll be able to save a lot of money. And money is good for everyone, right? So apart from this, there are very deep, intricate connections, which we can discuss maybe in a detailed seminar or a webinar. However, you can also text me and we can take it on a personal call.
Yeah, basically, this is just the first session. It was to give you, an overview of the things. We will have specialized sessions on different areas. For example, as Junaid announced, on 31st of the May, we will have one expert from Germany who will be talking about AI in medicine. Similarly, we will, have different sessions on other on use of AI in other fields as well. So stay tuned to our channels, and you will find information about that. And also we can connect you to Junaid or Dr. Ruksan directly, and you can talk about you can have a discussion with them on this very interesting topic. So the next question is, it's Abdullah MP. Can we do AI in medicine as a non-medical student?
Yes, yes, definitely. So the friend I mentioned, I told you, who's also going to give a talk. He is not a medical student. He's a physicist again by training. So he did theoretical physics, math, and artificial intelligence, and now he's working in medicine. Applications of AI in medicine. So generally speaking, not specifically to this question, the world has come to a stage. The sciences have come to a stage where the lines have become very blurry between physics and computer science, between physics and mathematics, between mathematics and computer science. Okay, everything, as I was saying, you can, in some sense, say everything has become data science. It's just different applications. And where are the interesting fields? Where are the interesting jobs? It's in this blurry region. It's the interdisciplinary jobs which are getting attention. So if you are a physicist, yeah, you could maybe find a job, but it will be difficult compared to a guy who is a physicist and can also do programming, understands data, and also has good mathematics. Compare if you are a doctor, yes, you can be a good doctor, a very traditional doctor, but you will be a much better doctor if you are a doctor and understand some AI. Okay, so go for interdisciplinary fields. And this is unfortunately what is not offered at our universities. But at CQAI, we definitely have this approach that everything we take is interdisciplinary.
Okay, thank you, Junaid, for the answer. So the next question is from Uwais Ali. He's asking, will there be any saturation in jobs in the AI field in next few years, or there will be new opportunities? And what life cycle stage do you think the AI is in right now? Before I ask our guests to answer this question, let me put a figure of uh, that was recently released by World Economic Forum. They said that AI, in next 6 or 7 years will replace 85 million jobs worldwide. The 85 million jobs. It's a big number. But in the same report, they said it will create 97 million new jobs. So that's a huge, figure. So this is just, a figure to think about, and rest of the question I'll leave on our guests.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it is the same thing. Like, when the computer came into the existence, then the same thing happened. People were the speeches about that it will take over job. So it actually never take over job. It just, yeah, it replaces some job which are very redundant in nature, and then give you the more more meaningful job actually, right? So yeah, you're never going to lose, but of course, just you need to upgrade yourself again, keep on upgrading. Yeah.
exactly.
I
So
have I have I have one question regarding that. I mean, that also somehow it is related with the question, is that I mean, you can comment it down, that what is one thing which AI cannot do, which human can do? Only one thing. That is the only one thing actually, which AI cannot do, but we can only do, right? If you can answer that question, that actually sums up the story about if AI can replace human or not. Yeah, I'll check the comments if you can answer some. Yeah, yeah, Junaid. Yeah.
yeah, I am actually thinking also about the question, but in the meantime, I wanted to explain this slide about Oasis question, that AI is here to, disrupt, of course, and it's gonna replace a lot of jobs, but jobs which are repetitive. And we have recently seen, if you looked at Apple advertisement of their new iPad, it was actually criticized a lot, where they were crashing a lot of musical instruments and saying AI can now do all the creativity stuff. But as Murtaza explained, and there is also a podcast where I came to know about something, which is about when the coal engine was coming, people built this steam engine, right? So and when people started refining it, so there was a stage when it was very inefficient, and then people started refining it, became very efficient. Okay, and then people thought that all the people are going to lose jobs because the engine itself became efficient. Okay, so the people who were there because the engine was inefficient, like AI, right? So it's making us more and more efficient. But what happened was people started buying more and more coal. So if your engine is efficient, then you need less coal, right? But people started buying more coal because the consumption became so heavy, and everybody started talking about trains, and every country started getting a train connection. So if you look at right now the amount of consumption, every country, every company is into AI and wants to develop AI, create people who have AI skills. A government are making specialized programs for this. So there is going to be a lot more jobs, but then you need to be, have your expertise in AI.
The second part of the question was, at what cycle? Let me read the question. So it is, and what life cycle stage do you think the AI is right now?
I think it's just the show has just gotten started, especially with generative AI. We are just 1.5 year into ChatGPT, so it's gonna improve a lot. That's the purpose of these sessions. That wake up, we need to wake up, and we need to get started, because we cannot afford to lose this opportunity the way we lost the industrial revolution. This is industrial revolution 2.0, and if we sleep right now, we'll be slept forever. We'll be sleeping forever. So I think the generative AI paradigm is it has a long way to go, and it will enter almost every human sphere, whether it be personal, whether it be professional. So I think Yeah, if that answers the question. So at some point, we are going to live in a symbiosis. This is what I think, at least what I can project with my mind. You never know what's going to happen because this technology fundamentally is disruptive. But I think we're going to live in a symbiosis, and this is already happening. The whatever technology that we are using, it becomes better day by day, and we also become efficient. So we are benefiting from it. The technology is getting better, and you have smart houses these days, smart cars. Um, so I think it has a long way to go.
Yeah, so we have, I guess, one last question from Ifra. She's asking, is data structures and algorithms related required for the data sciences, for the artificial intelligence, sorry.
Well, when you learn, let's say, Python programming with us, that's part of the curriculum itself. So what is the data structure? It's as we said in few slides before, the whole game is about data. We have data, and then we train our models on that data. That's what ChatGPT does, for example. And this data has to be stored somewhere. And when you store it in a place, we call it a data structure. In what data structure you are storing it? It's like you have some entities, you have to store them somewhere. And this is part of the programming language itself. So this is kind of the foundation. When you learn about the programming language, you learn about these things. Um, it's the same way we have memory about things. Then you need to put this data somewhere on a computer. An algorithm is simply how you are going to process this data, right? It's as simple as that, making a cup of a tea, right? There is an algorithm to make a cup of tea. You need to first get maybe boil the water. I mean, I know some people first boil the milk, but whatever it is, you boil the water, then you put tea in it. No, you don't boil the water. You put the water and then you put tea in it, then you boil it, then you add the milk, and then you finally add the sugar, then you have tea ready. So this is an algorithm. Similarly, you need to define an algorithm in a computer how to do stuff. And the good part is most of the algorithms are already there. You just need to adapt them.
I think all the questions have been answered, the ones that we had received in the chat. So maybe there are few answers for Chetan as well. Maybe you can look for them in the chat. So about the question that you had asked, uh, any reply for them? So we have, let me read the answers. So it's like it lacks common sense and requires human feedback for any error corrections. That's by US. And Sabakan writes it can truly understand and experience. It cannot truly understand and experience emotions. And Sadat says yes, sentiment analysis is the use case. So yeah, any general comments for other audience related to these answers? Chetan, can we have your final?
Yeah, sure. I was just waiting for the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only one thing actually which AI cannot do, what human do, and what actually separates us from machine is that machine cannot create knowledge, right? That's our job. That what you see, all the advancement is because of creating knowledge, right? So AI can never do research for you. Like some can say that it's now the creativity part is actually what which actually separates us from machine, but that is also not quite true because sometimes rearranging things was also part of creativity, right? That AI can also do that. AI can also produce music, right? uh, which it can actually rearrange in some order and it can create a new music, right? That's a creation. So, and it can create poems. That's also creation. That's also creativity. But the creation of new knowledge, that is one very much specific to us, right? So the AI cannot do research for you, right? Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, thank you, Chetan, for the answer. Junaid, any final words before we close?
Well, not particularly. I would just like to thank everyone who joined this session, and we look forward for more engagement from people for more sessions like this. I think it's the need of the hour, and do join our sessions and ask questions. Bring also other people who might be interested, and ask all sorts of questions. We don't know everything. I also don't know everything. And it's also maybe we will get to learn from you some new things.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Junaid. Chetan, any final words from you?
Uh, Not really, but in the comment section, people are asking that how they can opt for training at CQAI.
Yeah, let
Probably
me
can.
answer that. Yeah. So I think pinned the link tree, our link tree in the comments. So you can visit that, or if you see the poster which was, which we published as an advertisement of this session, there is a link tree. So or the barcode, you can scan that, and in the link tree you will find a button that's called a register for trainings. You can register using that. You can also go to our website, and there is a register button. You can register there as well. Or if you are still not able to register, just reach us through any of these. For example, you could find our Facebook link, you could find our Instagram link. So all the channels, all the platforms you can use, and you can reach us, and we'll get back to you. And also, before, I think the session was intended for 1 hour, but it got, because the some very good discussion was happening, so it got a bit stretched. Thank you everybody for joining this session. We will be back with some more guests, more sessions, and we will discuss different uh, fields where AI is being used, or it will be used. Basically, it is being used everywhere, but maybe people do not know about it. uh, like they do not have idea in which field or how it is actually being used, because there is a lot of buzz, but there is also some noise. Noise in the sense that there is no filtering of knowledge when it comes to the online platforms like Google or any other thing. So that's our motive. That's what we want to do. We want to give you the curated content or curated information which can save your time, so that you all can have good careers in the fields of your choice. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.